Sorry. I need to think about it.
Enjoy the blessing of restoration.
You finally arrived. Allow me to introduce myself. This is technically the second time we have met. It's a pleasure to...
Wow. She's the daughter of the Hiiragi clan, all right.
No need to be so formal. I've long marveled at your accomplishments. And at last we...
Is it Paimon or does something seem...
The reason why I wanted to secretly meet you here is... Well, I feared that I might never have...
Discuss what?
Ahem. I should like to ask for your help with delivering a letter.
Like father, like daughter. Couldn't you be more original?
No, you misunderstand me. I was hoping that you could deliver a letter to Narukami Island in my stead. It is to be given to Kujo Kami. My father has always forbidden me from communicating with him. He knows that there are prospects for my marriage that would better serve him. There is no one who would dare defy my father's will on Ritou, but you are Outlanders. Outlanders seeking to get to Narukami Island.
Oh, Paimon gets the whole...
Of course, in doing so, I will also do everything in my power to help you leave Ritou. That is my promise. To be perfectly honest, as long as you remain in Inazuma, my father will have no intention of letting you leave Ritou.
Yeah, we figured as much. It was pretty obvious he was just trying to hold...
I secretly overheard a conversation between my father and a very arrogant-sounding woman just a few days ago. They seemed to be discussing how to keep you here on Ritou. In fact, it was the first time I had ever heard my father speak so respectfully to someone who wasn't the shogun. We don't have much time. I'll tell you my plans to help you off the island. Very well. I'll be waiting for you at the border. I'm counting on you to deliver my letter. Hold on, please. These goods are being sent to Watatsumi Island?
My lady, this is an unexpected honor. You are correct. These goods have been repeatedly requested by the Kanjo Commissioner. We must...
Is there something wrong, Lady Hiiragi?
No, as you were. My father simply has some concerns of the shipment's safety and has ordered that myself and an additional...
My lady, you aren't suggesting that you intend to escort the shipment personally, are you? There's certainly no need for you to trouble yourself with such a matter. And as for this qualified escort...
Please, do not cause us any further delay. If memory serves me right, my father has already asserted that this shipment must arrive on time. I'm certain punishment will be duly dispensed.
Yes, of course, my lady. It's just that, well, we don't know who the...
Now, need I remind you of the penalty if anything were to happen to me en route? Do you really presume that you can fully guarantee...
Boy, Chisato can talk the talk. They don't stand...
Yes, my lady. Very well then. It's an honor to have you accompanying us.
Shinojo, you can't really be agreeing to this.
Well, the request is from Lady Hiiragi herself. It is our duty to serve her in the utmost
Yes, but that's not the problem.
Well then, if we're through here, I suggest we set off at once. Dawdling will only allow potential thieves more time to prepare.
Yes, my lady. You heard her?
My lady, please stay back. We'll handle it.
Not as well as we'll handle it.
Leave it all to me. I'll catch up.
Let's get down to business.
As a good knight should.
To the ferry.
Monster sighted. Prepare to counterattack. Protect Lady Hiiragi at all costs.
We'll take care of this. Stay with Chisato.
Watch out! More monsters inbound. Lady Hiiragi, stay close.
Let's dance.
My blade!
Time to clean up.
How's this?
Someone needs assistance.
We can take refuge in the village up ahead. How are you faring, my lady?
I'm perfectly all right. You may stop here. The road to Narukami Island is just... In my letter, I've requested Kamaji to grant you a special travel permit from the Tenryou Commission.
My lady.
So that's how it is. I had a feeling something was amiss, but...
No, Lady Hiiragi would never hide anything from us. I'm sure of it. But who...
I'm not afraid to say that he...
The one you love?
Shinojo, did you honestly think that...
What? No, I was just clarifying, that's all. I would...
You two needn't worry. Please, forget that this ever happened. If my father catches word of it, I alone will be held accountable.
Yes, of course. As you wish, my...
But what will happen if your actions here are...
Don't fret. My father has always been one to spoil me. The worst he'd do is sentence me to half a day without food or something to that...
Huh. Paimon never suspected a guy like...
I wish you a safe journey.
Bye, Chisato!
Come now. Quit your staring and let's get moving. We've got goods to shift.
All right.
We're finally on our own way again. I suppose it's time we find Toma. Now, where did he say he would meet us again? Oh, right! Komori Tea House! Let the show begin.
The essence of the Ame Noma art is to have the patience.
The Shogun must have her reasons.
I gotta sign this task.
I'll remind you again. The law can be both a...
According to the letter, this should be the place.
Sorry, we don't serve the general public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! Where are the...
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck into...
Are our clothes really so... what...
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma. In which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House, a safe haven for the Yashiro Commission.
Well, that sounds more like it. Well, now that we're here, where's Toma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere. Do you think he forgot his promise to meet us?
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax, no need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
All right. I've had my fun.
Hey! way! You're this close to getting an ugly nick.
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long, as was the case in Ritou. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Ms. Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious now.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning. Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck... so you've heard of it. His light still burns all the more brightly. Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping...
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
Books were more interesting in the past. Books were more interesting in the past.
Sure feels gloomy. People probably don't... Huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing trick?
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt decree are put into this statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs and the Sakoku Decree to limit the people's movement. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it for all time.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt decree, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryou Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one in this statue. And this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say Shogun is being, oh, I don't know, selfish?
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out so directly against the Raiden Shogun. And yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt Decree is something that simply should not exist. And Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since the day it was announced.
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything. Did something happen?
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then what?
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm that. Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. All right, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally! Catch up. Someone needs assistance. Play with me. kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzier.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guest. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on about? So, where's she at? Behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being sent. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. The traveler, lend us your power, and we can... Oh.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
No, please, wait. Please. I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill...
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met...
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the vision...
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will await your return here. Then...
I'm sure you'll do great.
Let's see, where's the person I...
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go over and...
You must also be here. Teijima has protected this place ever since he up keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to. We will gladly apologize if that's the case. What could be the... What...
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt Decree. It's clear that Teijima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost some. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether...
Seems like he...
One day, I'll be as great as
You must be Teijima. So what's made you want to...
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what true. But that's not... And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I... I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's in the past. I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the... But if you can't remember anything... Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember...
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some...
I keep a diary.
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more...
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving,
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Tejima's situation.
one day I'll be as great as Ryuji. This looks like Tejima's diary. Let's see what we have today. The villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to... Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before finding... I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back, so I just found somewhere to sit and watch as it flew away into... Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait, there's more! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a... So this is the omamori interesting. Looking at the color and the design, but anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's... Somewhere that Tejima vis... The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima buried some... Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. Let's dig it up and... It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end. Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it from there.
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. But I have no memory still. It's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time has flown by so quickly. 30 years feels like the blink of an eye. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Now that I think about it, love, regret, everything I felt for her, it's all no. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the things we experienced together. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy dream. I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my... Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness. I shall remain here and keep
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really... Seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your... That certainly explains the state Tejima was in earlier. At least we were able to help him. According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission.
The case before us is a strange and unprecedented one indeed.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Ina's... But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation. How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about...
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand?
Not you samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this.
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you... This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly He's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the others. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa.
I've never even heard of these emergency... I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to... And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even disappointed the Raiden.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree. Why would you be unworthy?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember all I know is that I would perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like someone owes me something.
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders, which is why I came here in the first place. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
But we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasures. We should be able to follow their tracks.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot. I mean, besides that one.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey. You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a...
Another test subject.
Incinerate!
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck. I knew he shouldn't have hit.
So what did you see inside? Was it...
Food supplies. You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange looking... I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom. What do you say?
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
Huh?
What the...
There's nothing in here but IOU!
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths...
Yes. So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs.
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
remarkable condition. Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got or perhaps there's some. So you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it?
Whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he couldn't afford of the usual amount.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy less?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they need. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency, and no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complained.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thing. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, if you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to—
Sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too— In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide— Oh, but before you go, if you would—
But we didn't—
Information is also a kind of commodity, wouldn't you agree? Don't worry, I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway. Oh, let me think. 2,000 mora should be a fair price.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions were coming from. Plus, we found out that Kurosawa has a Let's go talk to Kurosawa again and
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing
Strange. Is that really the kind of I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so. And this sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed and said to me,
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on. Can you recognize the words?
virtue and justice? Somehow those two words seem to explain everything, taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess then, but what use of virtue and justice? I purchased a provision. The Tenryou Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperate, and the irony of all of it is, I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equal.
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
Is it just me? Or are there more buildings?
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Hyman heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought.
Maybe, but things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him.
It's just because he's been possessed. That's all. Once the
Hey there! Did some...
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of... Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. But then we got here and overheard you talking about...
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look... Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and Sensei's name is Domon. A name though self-taught. He mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He says the strangest things over and over. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's been possessed by an evil spirit. So, but if I'm honest, I still have my...
The Grand Narukami Shrine?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going... The exorcism will take place this evening.
So, Losing your vision can cause possession? Guess we should come back to...
So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering when she asked him who the people were. He suddenly looked panic-stricken. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking all the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others we didn't recognize. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago. And he has been... Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water.
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? We won't let them get away with it. Come on! Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up.
What a pleasant surprise. I wouldn't mind staying here for a while.
Aha! Suspicious person sighted! That's gotta be him!
How? Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? Unless... I guess it's been a few years.
Excuse me? We're the ones, and what are you doing sneaking around these parts?
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know...
His senior? What?
Anzai, yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master. Studying Meikyo, I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Meikyo Shisui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the... Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best sword master, barely days into his training, showed that he had a fickle mind. I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making swift progress in his... Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could deter him from this goal.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever...
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Everyone had high expectations. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled the dojo that day and never looked back. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately, after that I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still respected his mastery of the blade and his commitment. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have lost his mind? I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. I just wanted to see... Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back now.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. He wasn't here to mess up the exorcism. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's go see...
What? You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit, but spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, I dare not rule out and all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has taken an interest in your sensei.
Lady Yai? Is that the
head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news.
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed and has abundant experience. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish Domon a full and speedy recovery.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yai's...
No, that's not what I meant at all. You misunderstand. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty show. Anyway, you should join us too, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei. We, the disciples of Meikyo Shisui Art.
Sure! After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Yai. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden Show. no wonder Junya is so excited. She has a really striking presence. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all around him to
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But then does...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped...
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both?
Lady Yai, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others, even those of one's closest companion. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters, to focus on the way. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state you see him in now. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor Sensei. To think he's been suffering so great.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Father, Sensei, Ansai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Ansai? Where did he come from? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Ansai, why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come. I never should have.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you, in the hopes that they might carry. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions, but that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that.
But what if one day the same thing happens to... I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would... I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know is that here and now, in the present, I wish to continue. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I, like my sensei Domon before me,
am a master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
Goodness. Well,
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hands. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened on the day that you so effortlessly defeated me. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time for you to release yours into their custody. You are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name. But you have a great number of worthy disciples.
I understand. I'm sorry to have made you worry for me and for the state of Meikyo Shisui art. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, so I cannot hope to still my mind and be free of agitation. But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life so far. This is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai, my senior, to hold me to my word.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore, so I will simply stop by once in a while to make sure you aren't cutting any corners with them. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yai and then get yourself back home.
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf. Guess that sort of solves this one, huh?
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some...
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a real... She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go...
Whenever you need me, I'll be there.
Oh, Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Traveler, Paimon, it is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah, short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really help them. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for
Wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but Paimon sure as heck did not sign up to be a servant.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen. Alright, we can be friends.
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen? Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, the lives of those who inhabit the world are inconsequential. Thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descent. All these things take place with no regard for the feelings of the common, but I believe that surely you understand what they must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to reconsider your stance? You will? Really? Naturally.
All right, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you she wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right person. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komori Tea House?
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land, and even to allow or to. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Gotta keep a.
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask me? The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions, most of them formal ceremony. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about it. Was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. Focused. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt Decree is something that hasn't. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for vision. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt Decree is...
How can they be like that?
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also...
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting a...
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different... But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance. Of course, we have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, they invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the shogun's decision. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the shogun's sudden decision.
Ooh, Paimon has a question.
Oh? What would you like to know?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt Decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt Decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already...
So what
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that... For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit...
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make...
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine article. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who is providing us with counterfeit visions, has
Darn! So they found out about it?
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exposed. But we cannot simply Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. That would only serve to cast suspicion on any future By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Nagonohara family. There, you will find someone who can help you.
Just hand it over. You don't want any trouble with me. If you think your elemental powers are enough to resist the Vision Hunt decree, then you'd better think again. Believe me, you're not the first of your kind we've encountered, and we've seen the same unpleasant outcome time after time.
Can't you make an exception? I just got this vision. I won't even use it, I promise.
So this is the Vision Hunt decree in action, huh? We can't just sit around and watch things unfold, can't... Psst! Hey, wait! Huh? There's someone trying to get our attention. Come on, this way. What's going on? Can't you see we need to go help? Shh, quiet. Just sit tight and watch for a moment. Hey, this isn't right, you know. Just because you don't have a vision doesn't mean you can sit back and watch others in trouble. Huh? Hey, wait! You do have a vision! Shh! If you don't keep your voice down, I won't have one much longer.
All right. Here, take it.
Wise choice. All right, let's go.
What should we do now? He's already given up his vision. Doesn't he know what could happen to him if... this is your fault. You're the one who stopped us.
Many thanks, Miss Euthymia. If you hadn't swapped me a fake just now, I'm sure I would have lost it.
No worries. You put on quite the convincing performance.
Oh, so that's what's going on here. And to think Paimon was about to unleash Paimonial wrath on Miss Euthymia. Sorry about that.
Think nothing of it. I could tell from your reaction we were on the same side. You just didn't know it, you know? Oh, right. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Euthymia, the current owner of Naganohara Fireworks. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Great to meet ya.
Practically everyone on Hanamizaka knows Euthymia. She's the queen of the summer festival. Without her and her fireworks, summer on Narukami Island just wouldn't be the same.
Whoa, that's quite the introduction.
Stop it, Hanjiro. You'll embarrass me. As for thanking me, you'd be better off thanking Master Masakatsu. He's the one that gave me the fake visions in the first place. His handiwork allowed me to keep my own vision. Whew, I can't even imagine trying to run the business without it.
Yes, Master Masakatsu is a good man. It's too bad good people seldom get the recognition.
Master Masakatsu?
Huh? Do you guys know him too? You don't say. Then it sounds like the Shirasagi Himegimi has a plan. But if I just march straight in there by myself, I'd probably get Miss Kamisato in. So, what about...
Sure, welcome to the team. Ayaka told us to go look for help at a fireworks shop. She must have meant you.
Seems like I finally got a new job to do. Besides hiding vision bearers in my shop, that is. So, Master Masakatsu is being held at the police station. I've already surveyed the area.
Whoa, talk about a reliable source. Seems we've got the right person.
Not bad, huh? Let's go as soon as everyone's ready. Don't worry, Master Masakatsu. We're on our...
Time to break him out!
Naganohara's fireworks are the best in Eden. The essence of the...
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Seems all the other knights already have their hands full.
Now that we're inside, this place is a whole lot creepier than Paimon imagined.
Come on, this way. As long as we stay quiet, I certainly wouldn't want to end up locked away in here. Let's find Master Mas. We should split up. I've got a little present to prepare for Master Masakatsu.
You sure?
Yes, you two.
Leave it all to me. Ha! Ha! Ja! Ja! Ha! Ha! Ja! Ja!
Talk about a big door. Seems we need to collect something shaped like Magatama in order to open it.
I must leave no stone unturned. Yeah.
I must withdraw.
Show
me what you've got.
Leave it all to me.
Rested.
Steady as stone.
I must withdraw.
I'll catch up.
Battle formation!
As a dutiful maid would.
I've lost.
This wall looks a bit odd. Maybe there's some special trick to it. These guys seem a lot tougher than usual. Paimon wonders if that armor over there has anything to do with the source of their strength.
Teach me a lesson. Show me what you've got. Brace yourself.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Show me what you've got.
Don't get frostbite.
Motion to compel. Steady as stone.
Don't hold back.
Boom, boom.
Show me what you've got. My word. I dare you. I've been bested.
Incinerate.
I need to train harder.
Doesn't that Magatama shape look pretty similar to the grooves on the door over there? I'll catch up.
Brace yourself.
I must leave no stone unturned.
What you've got.
Motion to compel.
Don't hold back.
I'll protect us.
I need to train harder. I've been bested.
You seem tired. Would you like some tea? I'll brew you some. Do you take sugar? 1 cube or 2?
catch up. Whenever you need me, I'll be there.
Shh! Quick! Hide! Look over there. That must be Master Masakatsu.
Did you really think that little trick of yours could fool?
Locking you up was just the beginning.
Oh no! Those Tenryo Commission brutes are torturing him!
If we don't come up with a way to break him out fast, then... Huh? Euthymia, when did you get back here?
I can't bear to watch. If anything happens to Master Masakatsu, our whole plan will have been for nothing.
Hey, you there! What are you doing?
Ma'am.
We were just teaching him a little lesson, that's all.
Huh? Who's that?
That's Kujo Sara, adopted daughter of the Kujo clan of the Tenryo Commission. She's also a general in the Shogun's army. What's she doing here?
Make way, let me have a look at him. I'm sure you're well aware that torture is strictly against military regulations.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are unashamed of such disgraceful action, then you are also unworthy of the Tenryo Commission itself.
Yes, ma'am. It won't...
Paimon sure wouldn't want to get on her back.
Hey, this is our chance. Let's move while they aren't watching Master Masakatsu.
Euthymia, are you sure now's the right time?
Who is that? Quick, go and investigate.
Yes, ma'am.
They're coming! Quick, hide!
Sorry. I didn't mean to. Don't worry, I've got us covered. Time for my little present.
Fireworks!
Huh? Was that an explosion?
It sounded like fireworks.
Quick, let's hurry!
The fireworks were enough to distract them. Maybe more than...
Fireworks aren't just for festivals, you know. I was particularly proud of this batch. I decided to...
Whoa!
Euthymia, this is turning...
Well, fireworks are my craft after all. Every batch has to be spectacular.
Look, the coast is clear! Now's our chance!
Euthymia.
Master Masakatsu! Sorry we took so long. Oh, those awful guards.
Come on! We've got no time to lose! They could be... Oh.
Yes, leave. Before I let my judgment get the better of me. He's in serious condition. Be sure he gets immediate medical attention. But remember, once he's recovered, it won't be long until I bring him right back.
Well... you can bet we'll do...
Leave this place.
We're finally out of there.
Yes. Fine.
Master Masakatsu, how do you feel?
Don't worry. I think I can make it to the infirmary without killing.
Thank you. All of you. I'll take him to get treated. I'll treat you.
Don't worry about us. Just take care of Master Masakatsu. Good thing we were able to rescue him. Right, Kujosara. Do you think she was making up for how the guards were treating him? It seems as though there are some okay people among the ranks of the Tenryou Commission. How about we go tell Ayaka and the others the good news?
I see. So Kujo-Sara stayed her hand. It would appear she still has some honor to her. I wonder if we should try establishing contact with her. Perhaps we could coax out some information.
Unlikely. Don't forget, Kujo-Sara is also carrying out the Vision Hunt decree. She obeys the orders of the Raiden Shogun without question. In her eyes, Master Masakatsu is of no threat to the decree. This is why she was so willing to. If our true motives were ever divulged, she would act against us without a second thought.
True. Though if you ask me, Master Masakatsu's release is an unexpected. We are now one step closer to victory. And we couldn't have done it without Euthymia and the Traveler. You're turning out to be even more reliable than we expected.
Don't mention it.
Indeed. Things may have turned out very differently this time without the help of the Traveler, but if we wish to mount any sizable resistance against the Vision Hunt decree, there is still much to be done. It is time we make ready our next set of plans.
There's no need to rush, my lady. Things seem to have taken a turn for the better, at least. Not only have we rescued Master Masakatsu, but our list of allies appears to be... yes, which reminds me. The Tenryou Commission seems to be making preparations for a celebration. And the number of samurai out enforcing the Vision Hunt decree seems to be waning. The days ahead may be more peaceful than usual.
A ceremony, you say? Why would such a task be left to the Tenryou Commission?
I don't know, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with us. Anyway, with the Tenryou Commission busy...
You being in a constant state of alert will only tire us further. Toma, what would you suggest?
I'd say a celebratory feast is in order. Might I suggest an evening of hot pot together? Funny enough, I learned a new hot pot game recently. I'm sure you'll find it...
A hot pot game? What's that? Well...
Simply put, every person prepares an ingredient to add to the hot pot. Once the meal begins, we add all the ingredients, then we take it in turns to close our eyes, pick an ingredient out of the pot, taste it, and guess whose ingredient it was. Anyone who guesses correctly can go again, and whoever finishes the meal with the most points is declared the winner. Tradition even has it that the winner receives blessing. Don't you think it sounds like fun? I've been wanting to give it a try.
You really do want to play, huh? Well, sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. Time to gather some ingredients. Let's see what we've got here. Fresh fish fillets, shrimp, bamboo shoots. Nice! You can't go wrong with these. Paimon can't wait. Paimon never thought we'd be the only ones to actually put anything edible into the pot. This was possibly the scariest looking hot pot Paimon's ever seen. Fortunately, Toma ended up eating all the weird stuff.
You can say that again. But hey, at least I got the most points. Oh, wait a moment. That doesn't feel good.
I'm afraid it's your own fault for adding all those strange ingredients, Toma. The soup flavor wasn't quite the same afterwards. Even with the Traveler's normal ingredients, I still couldn't guess any of them correctly.
But weren't you the one who added those little cakes, Ayaka? I think the Traveler ended up eating one. Boiling cakes in hot pot? Ugh. Think of the texture.
I must apologize. To be perfectly honest, I thought the...
Uh-oh. I'm definitely not okay. I feel like a new man.
You know, Toma, all you had to do was guess wrong on purpose and it would have been someone else.
Guess I've been feeling unlucky recently and wanted the god of hot pot's blessing. Perhaps I did get a little carried away. Still, I couldn't be beaten at my... I think my luck has already taken a turn for the better. I can sense. So without further ado, I hereby declare that the winner of today's Hot Pot Challenge is... me.
Oh, brother.
Ah, good effort, team. Another important job taken care of.
Yes. If the Tenryo Commission truly is as busy with preparations as Toma claims, and with the extra time, there are some other matters I wish to...
Let's all take some much-needed time off. After a few days' rest, we'll downtime is hard to come by these days, so be sure to make them... I'll tidy things up here and start thinking about our ingredients for...
There's gonna be a sequel?
Sure, why not? We should play again now that everyone knows the...
Bye, Toma! Seems we won't need to be visiting the Komori tea house for a while.
Tea. The books were more interesting in the past. Where do we go from here? What's the plan?
Traveler, Paimon, hold on.
Huh? Ayaka?
Something has come up, and I would like to request your assistance, but you ought not be nervous. This is not coming from the Yashiro Commission or the Kamisato clan.
Individual request? You mean...
Correct. It concerns... This may seem a little sudden, but in my view, you are the only person I can entrust this to. A few days ago, I was sorting through some old family belongings when I found a notebook that she wrote about all kinds of things, mostly of little consequence. But what drew my attention was a name. It is one that I have never heard before, so...
Probably your mom's best buddy, right?
Never. And although my mother and father passed away many years ago, both my brother and I are familiar with the vast majority of their acquaintance, so I am very curious about this mysterious... According to the notebook, their name is Tsubaki. This seems to have been someone very important to my mother. Someone with a lot of personality.
Paimon thinks it sounds like a girl's name.
That's what I thought too.
So what do you want us to do? Do you need us to find her for you?
No. Her address is given in the notebook. We can head straight there. I wanted you to assist me with the preparation of greeting. Please keep everything I have told you in strict confidence. The proper course of action would be to involve my brother and visit her together. But he is terribly busy at present, and on a more selfish note, I don't wish to involve anybody else from Inazuma. Exactly. That, and you are also a kind, well-mannered person with a genuine concern for other people. Not to mention trustworthy.
You can count on us. We've done greeting gifts before, so we should be able to help.
Wonderful. In fact, I was hoping to take this opportunity to show you both the...
Oh, we don't mind. We don't mind at all. Do we?
Thank you kindly. Shall we head off then?
All right, sounds great.
My apologies. Kamore Tea House only accepts.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Ad Astra Abyssosk.
You seem tired. Would you like some tea? Ryu-san, do you take one cube or two? La da 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 da.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
La da 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 da.